1.5 million. That's the number of jobs, skilled jobs, that are projected to be open either this year, next year, or by the year 2029. My name is Christopher Watson, the boy dad. 1.5 million skilled labor jobs is the projected number that are going to be open either now or until the year 2029. It's kind of interesting because there have been about 60,000 plus jobs, federal jobs, that have been terminated, or 60,000 plus employees have been fired or laid off under this new administration. There's a big commotion about all this. There's some solutions to this issue, and I I just did some research, and it looks like there's one skilled labor sector alone. There's 80,000 electricians that are needed in America. 80,000. So now, obviously, all 60,000 of those, 60,000 plus of those federal employees are not going to run and jump at the opportunity to become electricians. But there are other skilled labor positions that can definitely fill the void of their job search. Now, it does suck that they have been let go, they've been fired, but I think that sometimes we make such a big deal out of these. Oh, I got a good government job, or I got a good cush job with good benefits. And I love my parents. I think we all love our parents if we're in that, you know, late 20s to early 40s range. But unfortunately, our parents' generation hit hard that we should get a degree, get a bachelor's degree, get a undergraduate degree, instead of actually telling us or directing us in a way that we can actually make a living for ourselves and make a living for our family, and we don't have to be as stressed, right? There have been studies that have shown that 6% of all youth, what I mean by youth, like people that are like teenagers or people that are right outside of the high school range, have been polled, and they've said that they don't want to go into the trades. Well, the trades are the most important aspect of the United States, of really any society. You're going to need somebody that's going to take care of plumbing. You're going to need somebody to take care of electricity. You're going to need somebody to take care of HVAC. You're going to need somebody to take care of, I mean, just the everyday things that you use. We get in America, in an American society, we've gotten so indoctrinated and so worried about being higher education that we don't think about the everyday things that help our society go around, right? Now, there are other skilled labor jobs other than electricians. There's projected to be 550,000 plumbers that are going to be needed, and that's not even 2029. That's by the year 2027. And then there's a total of 330,000 welders that are going to be needed in the next couple of years as well. And then 100,000 HVAC technicians. So what that means to me is that we need to shift our focus on making everybody go to higher education, and we need to shift our focus on what is needed in our society that is going to help our society sustain itself. Some children, when they're there in middle school and high school, they're showing us that they really don't want to go to college, or they don't really, I want to say that they're not smart, but they lack the discipline, they lack the attention span to really hunker down and go through college. Some students, some teenagers really need to go into a trade. They might flourish as an electrician. They may flourish as an HVAC tech. They may flourish as a plumber. On top of that, the debt that they will have is not going to be nearly as much as when they have a college degree. Now, I like to tie stuff back in with a biblical principle or biblical aspect. If we look through the Bible, I mean, just starting out in the very beginning of the Bible, Adam, Cain, Abel. Now, obviously, you can go, well, that's the very beginning of the world, but let's just bear with me. The very beginning, Adam was a tiller of the ground and a keeper of animals. Cain was a tiller of the ground. Abel was a keeper of animals, keeper of sheep. There was no higher learning. There was no, and they flourished. They had a skilled labor that was going to provide them with the means to live, sustain, and have abundant living. But let's go on throughout the scripture. Abraham, keeper of sheep, keeper of animals. We had Paul, a tent maker. We had a lot of skilled labor that went on in the scriptures. The notion that everybody has to go to higher education is a more modern take, and I believe that a lot can be learned by looking through the scripture and seeing how the children of Israel, or seeing how different biblical um, characters conducted their lives. You know, spoken. There were wise men spoken of. There were, I guess, higher educated people, rabbis, things like that. But the majority of people were skilled laborers, traders, barterers. You know, they had something that they specialized in from from like birth. The whole point that I'm trying to get across is that it does suck that these 60 plus thousand federal jobs are getting terminated, or employees are getting terminated or fired or let off. But I think we need to go back to the basics and look at what skilled labor, skilled jobs could actually be filled in these times like this. Um, so, what do you guys think? Because of the shortages that we have in the skilled labor sector, you think some of these federal employees should try to revamp their life, either become an apprentice, go be a plumber's assistant, HVAC tech assistant, things of that nature? Drop a line down below. Let me know what you think. We'll see you in the next video. Stay blessed.